he spoke after the game, and he wanted to pin it on himself and his performance, but we're not going to allow him to do that. It's a team game, so we're all in this together.
I said he addressed the entire team in the locker room after the game.
What's going on, folks? You already know what it is. Real Creator here, and tonight we got to see Shedeur Sanders for the first time. A lot of people thought that he would not see the field, definitely not in this game. But I will say that there were a few people that hinted to Shedeur Sanders getting some play today if Dillon Gabriel didn't play good. Now, Shedeur did get a chance to come in the game. Now, one of the first things I want to address is, what was the true reason? Did Gabriel really get hurt, or did they feel like he was playing that bad that they wanted to just take him out? Because I've heard some other YouTubers already saying that they believe that Gabriel was snatched because he was not playing good. I also think that I would not be surprised if Gabriel pops up healthy for this week coming. Let's see what happens. They saying it was a concussion or concussion protocol. That was my take on that. But Shedeur Sanders' play was not stellar, to say the least. We saw some bad things. We saw a pick. We also saw, some passes getting batted down. Just looking very, rookie-ish. Very rookie-ish. And it was his very first time getting on the field, so I guess you can expect that. We have been pumping this man up so much that everybody expects for him to get on the field and just, throw bombs. And I did too. I swear, that's what I thought was going to happen. But I think we saw some completions. But to say that it was a great outing for the first time, I don't think nobody is going to say that. Now, there are a lot of things that come into perspective when we're talking about Shedeur playing. First, I want to link into Kevin Stefanski's press conference earlier this week. As of Friday, before the game, which was on Sunday, Shedeur Sanders still had not had any first team reps, meaning this man never played with anybody on the first team. So he's playing with what he calls the hungry dogs, the people that's not really in the depth chart, the people that don't play. He's familiar with them. And he made a reference to that in his press conference, not without trying to throw anybody under the bus. That's one of the other things I loved about his press conference is he handled that shit like a quarterback's supposed to. He ain't say nothing about what we didn't do and da-da-da. Everything was on him. And that is, that's how it's supposed to be handled. You don't supposed to go up there talking about what we didn't do. Because at the end of the day, the quarterback is the one that's trying to get everybody a win. And so I take my hat off to him for that. But Kevin Stefanski already said that prior to this week, he had not taken a first team snap. His throwing to Jerry Jeudy in the game versus the Ravens was his first time ever throwing a pass to Jerry Jeudy.
Bruh.
So you got to understand what's going on here. There's no chemistry. There's no nothing. Man coming into the game, thrown into the fire, and he still made some impressive throws. And like I said, he made some bad throws. He made some rookie throws, but it was his first game. It's the middle of the season. Baltimore really ain't nothing to play with when it comes to defense, and they blitzed the hell out of him. So that was definitely something to take note of. Now, I do know that I have heard some speculations that people think that Dillon Gabriel was not hurt. They think that Dillon Gabriel went out because of his bad play. That's an interesting take. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe they just wanted to see if Shedeur could give them a spark. But what I got to say is, man, without no first team reps, it's very, very hard to do. So I know everybody going to blow this shit up this week. I know y'all going to blow this up. I know y'all going to be trying to be on our neck about Shedeur Sanders. But I implore you to fall back and watch the breakdown. Now, if he can get some first team reps, now I'm going to tell y'all what would be real crazy. Now, y'all got to watch out for this because I know I might be one of the first ones to say it. I would not be surprised if Dillon Gabriel is fine come game time. I would not be surprised if they say Dillon Gabriel is healthy enough to play. Because it's not ruled out that he plays. It's not ruled out. But I'm very curious to see what happened because up until Shedeur got into the game, it was a lot of lackluster play going on. There really wasn't nothing going on. The defense scored. The defense put it down today for the Cleveland Browns. They definitely put it down. The offense, not so much. Not so much. But It would have been great for Shedeur to get a win, but that is not what happened. But like I say, for me to say he played good, I need him to do a lot more than that. And that's the bottom line. For me to say that he played good, which I'm not going to sit here and say he played good, like y'all say Dylan Gabriel played good, but he played like shit. Shedeur played like shit. But in a way, it was to be expected if you ain't never thrown a ball to Jerry Jeudy. That was one of the wildest things that I heard in the press conference, was that he was like, damn, you know, I want to be able to have a relationship with Jerry Jeudy and da-da-da-da-da-da. So I'm like, damn, this man ain't never thrown a ball to this man in practice? That is fucking crazy to me. Honestly, I need to find out if that's normal in a team atmosphere. Does QB3 never throw the ball, or QB2 at this point? So I don't know, man. Let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. That's crazy to me. But up until that, it was kind of some lackluster shit going on. A couple points being traded. But offensively, the Cleveland Browns really wasn't doing shit. So that's why it could make sense that they just wanted to put Shedeur in, because Dylan Gabriel wasn't doing shit anyway. Now, I guess the question is, does Shedeur get the start this week? Or do we see Dylan Gabriel pop back into the folds out of nowhere? Because for me, I feel like that could be a play. I would not be surprised if Dylan Gabriel popped up healthy. So if Shedeur gets to start first team reps, I don't feel like everything turns around in the week. I feel like with him getting some first team reps, he can be more prepared than he was last week or this week. But goddamn, never throwing a ball, never taking a snap from the real center. I heard him say that in the press conference. He was like, man, taking a snap from whatever his center name is. He was like, taking a snap from him was like, that was awesome. Like, what? So that's what I'm saying, y'all. It was a lot good seeing him get onto the field and seeing the crowd go crazy like that. But you want to get on and see this man be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit around and prepare this other dude, you know, day in and day out. Everything was about this dude, this dude, this dude. And now, the pros and the analysts was already saying this. What happens if Dylan goes down and this dude not prepared? So why, as of Friday, would you not have him taking first team reps already? He should have already been tuned in to the first team. But that was just something that they didn't want to do. They didn't want to tell the media that that's what they was doing. And now look. So with Tommy Rees in there, you know, I ultimately believe that Tommy Rees was the reason that they pulled Gabriel and put Shedeur in. Unless he was really hurt. But he finished the half and then went to the 10th. So we got to speculate, and it's just speculation. But come on, man. That just don't sound right to me. You finish the half, everything is fine, and then you don't come back in the game because they saying that you're hurt. Hit that like button if you believe that. That's bullshit. I don't know. All I know is this. I love to see Shedeur Sanders get the fair shot like he deserves. And all you people that's in the comments and having a good time right now thinking that it's sweet, y'all know what it is. Y'all like an advantage, and that's okay. But we used to this. Champions, yeah, we used to this. So you already know that is part of the plan. Now moving forward, are they about to build Shedeur up? Or is he about to get all this, you know, top-notch treatment and pats on the back and all that shit? I need to see all that same energy. You know what I'm saying? One game, and I hear people already saying, oh, he's a bust, he's a bum, yada, yada, yada. But it's fucking 7 weeks into the season and y'all still saying give Dylan Gabriel a chance. Because his first goddamn outing looked worse than that. So, with that being said, man, let's be real. No first team reps. No rapport at all with anybody on the first team. This is this guy's first time ever linking up with the first team. I think that's crazy. And for him being the starter on the first preseason game, maybe that's not no big deal. But it seems pretty odd to me. So like I said, man, very, very curious to see what goes on this week. Who is going to be starting? Is Shedeur going to be the starter? They might as well just let him run out the rest of the season, man. Gabriel already had 7 games. You got to bye a week. That's 16 weeks. Man, just let Shedeur ball out. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want to see. They ain't going to the fucking playoffs. You know, Gabriel had his chance, and I think now it's 12's turn to see if he can burn. But I got to tell y'all, that first outing was, shaky. Very, very shaky. But, you know, I give him a pass. And you know, that's what we're going to have to do because y'all gave Dylan Gabriel 7 passes and y'all still saying, let this man ball out. So let Shedeur ball out, and I think he's going to be fine. I mean, let's not forget that out of 184 pass attempts, Gabriel has 1 pass for 26 yards. Nothing further, and that is the only pass that he has for 26 yards. So, with that being said, man, let Shedeur get his reps, and then we'll see what happens when that happens. I think once he gets some first-team reps, and he gets the team behind him, and that locker room forges into steel like it's supposed to be, because I don't think, you know, that the locker room is going to be mad now. I think they're going to rally around Shedeur, and if that's the support that he gets, you already know, man, sky is the limit. Sky's the limit. But you can't just keep throwing him out there. You did that in preseason. Now, it's the real season. So, thank goodness for goddamn Tommy Reese. But one thing I did notice, right? One thing I noticed about the play calling was when Dylan was playing, they still was doing them little 4 and 5 foot passes. 2-yard passes. 6-yard passes. And then they started doing, plays where it was progressing up the field and it looked a lot better. People, I think dude got like what, 27-yard play or 24-yard pass. He ran a lot of the way, but so what? As long as it's progressive and it's not into a pile of people to tackle him or hurt him, then it's a good play. And I saw that a couple times from Gabriel. But Shedeur is his time, man. Let Shedeur ball out. Let me know in the chat, man, what y'all want to see. Do y'all want to see Shedeur ball out for the rest of the season as the starter? Because I think that's what it's calling for, man. Let's see what he can do. I wish this was not the middle of the season and he got a chance to start in the beginning of the season. Then, it's backwards, honestly. Gabriel should have went second. But based on him being a 3rd round pick, I understand why he was not. So it ain't like I don't get that part. But we need to see 12 start this week. We need to see 12 with some first team reps, man. Like they should be going back to practice right now and getting some goddamn practice. But I think he's built for the task. I like the way he talked in his press conference. And that dude stuck up for Dylan Gabriel. You know what I'm saying? He told the press and the fans, I appreciate all the love, but I don't want my people to distract this guy when he's on my team. And it's making it hard for him out there because, you know what I'm saying? We teammates. So y'all not helping the situation by booing him or, you know what I'm saying, rooting for 12. He was like, it's much appreciated. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to roll the clip. Matter of fact, we're going to roll the clip.
You play next week if Dylan doesn't clear protocol. Do you feel like if the game plan is designed for you and you get those first team reps, those starting reps in practice, that this is just going to be a whole different ball game for you when you get out there?
No, the most I can ask for is opportunity. See, like that's an uncontrollable thing that I'm not able to control, and that's not, nothing I should speak on, just being the quarterback of this team, this franchise. They gave me an opportunity. I ain't do up to my expectation and enough to get us a win, so I just got to take that one to the chin.
You mentioned that you hadn't really thrown to Jerry and these guys with the starting unit, and Kevin alluded to that as well. How much of there was maybe like a rust factor or acclimation period with those pass catchers in that second half?
I think you've seen it was just rough overall. It was a rough day overall. But the thing that I was excited about is just being able to get out there. It's the first time I got hit since my last game at Colorado. So just having that feeling back, is good. And, I feel fulfilled overall when it comes to being out there practicing, going in between the lines, seeing actually what it's like. And I know I'm made for it, and for the team, for the linemen, and even getting snaps from Poe, that was amazing. Going out there in a live game, being able to do that with him, in the way the guys, the way the O-line, running back, receivers, defense, all right around. That's all you guys for a quarterback.
On that last drive, you made it.
I think every throw, is going to be complete until it's not. I know Gage is a dog.
That's a tough spot.
I have the most reps for Gage out of everybody out there. So we out there in the Hungry Dogs going at it every day. So yeah.
Was it a just seemed like a really good play by the defender there. It was a nice throw by you. And I mean, is that how you saw it? Just a bang?
No, I don't think too much in it. You know, I don't think too much in that. I just take what come with it. Okay, cool. Next play.
What do you think Kevin's talked a lot about those extra periods. You mentioned the $100 periods, just as opportunities to get extra reps and everything. How much did you feel like those extra reps have at least helped prepare you for when you were out there fighting, if at all?
Yeah, it helped me understand the concepts live, you know. But it's different when it's different body types going out there, different way how people get out of routes. Like what I seen on the pick initially was I see his hips turn. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna be able to get out there. But at the same time, like playing quarterback is extremely hard. So it's like I like knowing every detail about my receivers. I like knowing the small things, what they're good at, what they're not good at. It's like so many details that helps me play confident with those guys. And I know, you know, we at the bottom right now. This performance, everything, it will never be like this. But you know, I'm dedicated to being able to get those opportunities with those guys to have a relationship. You know, I got a relationship with all the hungry dogs though. We like clockwork out there, but you just gotta see everything a little bit more. You know, they can come out, route them, do all different type of stuff. So
besides that, not having the familiarity with the first team guys, what was the most difficult part of it? The Ravens coverage, the pressure they brought, the speed of it. What did you find anything difficult?
I'm gonna give them their props. It was a good football team, but I know the only way is up with it for sure.
Sorry, you came into a very intense game against a division rival, a close game, and you said you didn't feel like you played well. But what did you think went right, and what went right for you to build upon for your next start?
Losing isn't something I'm comfortable with at all. So everything, I just gotta take this one, you know. I gotta take this one. I gotta decompress. I gotta understand, like, you know, this really happened, you know, on my watch. So I don't like the feeling, and I know offensively, if I'm able to get out there and have an opportunity, I know that I'll be able to take everything to a different level. Like I said, I'm still the same confidence. I'm still me. I'll never go anywhere, you know. Just going out there, seeing daylight, that's all I needed, you know, to see how they move out there. You playing against a great defense. You got guys from the Pro Bowl out there, so it's like it's exciting to see, okay, this is what it's like. All right. This is what it's like. I'm excited for it. So, you know, I just gotta take this one, you know, and build on it.
What was that communication? What was that communication like?
Well, I know nobody else was able to get something in the back.
Did you notice the reaction from the fans when you came into the game? Were you able to soak that in?
Yeah, I'm extremely thankful. Well, first, let me say this. When Dylan out there playing and all that, I appreciate the fans. I appreciate everybody, but it don't really. I'm a good person overall, so I don't really like him not feeling comfortable, confident, you know, when he get out there. So, you know, it puts everything in a tough spot, you know, and it's not helping the team, you know. So that could be taken as, okay, I'm being a distraction, even though I ain't doing nothing. You know, I'm not doing nothing, but I'm thankful for the supporters, thankful for the fans, thankful for everybody out there, you know, that believes. And yeah, when I got out there, I definitely felt them. And, you know, I'm truly thankful for it. And yeah, I'm just thankful that I'm out here. You know, I'm thankful for the opportunity, thankful for seeing all them 12 jerseys out there. And it was a great feeling for that. But the feeling of losing, that ain't nothing we're going to get comfortable with, like, on my watch.
And there you have it right there. Shedeur in the press conference, standing tall and doing exactly what the hell a quarterback is supposed to do. He went in there, and on that press conference, he didn't say nothing about nobody else. He spoke on himself, on his abilities and what he can do for the team and what he didn't do for the team. But one thing he did was I didn't hear shit about we. I didn't hear anything about we got to do this and we got to do that. What I heard was me, himself. He put everything on his shoulders, and that's what the fuck you're supposed to do when you are a quarterback. I'm not gonna lie. I have not heard Dylan Gabriel be anywhere close to that humble. I've never heard him say a humble word out of his mouth, really. He seems privileged, and that's just what it is. But what I'm saying is, Shedeur Sanders took everything on his own chest. And I respect that and admire that, and you gotta love that. He also stuck up for Dillon Gabriel on people, talking crazy or just doing a little bit too much and making him uncomfortable as a teammate. So shout out to Shedeur for that as well, because I've never heard Gabriel step up or speak up for Shedeur. I never even heard Gabriel mention Shedeur's name, to be honest with you. But like I said, you got Shedeur Sanders, who is seemingly being a ultimate teammate, and that can be respected. So what can we expect this week? Well, I believe this week, if I'm right and I'm correct, that hopefully Shedeur Sanders will be starting. He can get a fresh start. He can get a full week of first team reps with the guys that he will be on the first team with. And I think that will bring a lot more light to his game and help him out when it comes to being on the field. You got to know the speed. You got to know, you got to know the turn up. You got to know how to gauge the whole NFL game, because if you've never been out there and only played the preseason, then you really can't gauge how a regular season game is going to go. And then from the regular season, it goes up another notch in the playoffs. And then from the playoffs, it goes up into another notch into the Super Bowl. So it's definitely levels to the gameplay. But this was Shedeur's first time seeing the field and the game speed in real action. Not sitting here making up a whole bunch of excuses, but we already know that Kevin Stefanski has stated that this dude has not had any first team reps. So I don't think anybody has the right to say anything about his ability or skill. He definitely was not prepared, and we knew he wasn't prepared based on Kevin Stefanski's speech. Based on Kevin Stefanski's press conference on Friday. So you already know, man. That's what that is. Now, like I said, I expect Shedeur to go out there, and if I'm thinking correctly, he's going to have a bounce back week. They don't have too hard of a game, but that is coming up this Sunday, and we are going to see, hopefully, Shedeur Sanders starting. And like I said, I truthfully believe that once he get acclimated with the first team, and he gets those reps in, and he gets the feel and the rapport with the guys that he's throwing the ball to, I think you'll see a lot better game from him. I think that Tommy Rees calling the plays, I noticed that there was no dinking and dunking what they were doing with Shedeur. They was taking the ball downfield. They were not throwing 4-yard and 5-yard passes, so I thought that was interesting. Also, they stopped the run when Shedeur got in the game. It was like, how many attempts did Gabriel have? Couldn't have been that many. He only threw the ball a couple times. You already know, man, this right here is the place to catch up on Shedeur Sanders news, Cleveland Browns news, and the whole thing. I need y'all to go ahead and hit that like button as well as subscribe to the channel. And I'll definitely see y'all on the next one. We out.